Well, hey there, Photoshoppers. Mr. Bleeker here again. We're going to move into pixel repair tools that we haven't really tried out yet. I've got an installment of 3 little mini lessons on this. In this picture, just zoom out for a second, we've got some damage, corner sort of chewed out here. And then to make matters worse, somebody goes by in this boat and wrecks our perfect picture of our friends out in the lake learning how to row. So there's some really nice repair tools for this. The first thing I want you to do, though, is I want you to look closely at the water and notice that water, in this case, has a grain. I know you think of grain in wood, but look at the water here. This texture compared to this, and as we go up here, you can sort of see what it is we're trying to repair. You have to consider that there's a natural left to right flow here. So we have to sort of respect that, because as we do repairs, it's going to be an important part of the equation. In Photoshop, and even in tools like GIMP, you'll see something called a clone stamping tool. And the clone stamp tool, it doesn't stand alone, right? There are other tools. There's a pattern stamp, but really, pattern stamp, you won't find yourself using it nearly as much as cloning. So cloning is when you choose pixels from one area of the picture and you just clone them into another area. So this is not a problem. So if you have old photos, for example, and there's creases in them, maybe it's a military picture of a grandparent or what have you, you can fix the creases using this tool. This is a great, great tool. You have to be smart with it, though. For example, knowing about grain is kind of important. Let's see, I think I'm going to go there, 120%. I'm going to fix this, but I can't choose pixels from up here. I can't choose these pixels. So I have to target. And on Mac and PC, it's the same thing. So once you're on the clone tool, you hold down Alt, and you notice right here, you get sort of looks like a target that you would have in a scope or something. That is the region that you would be taking pixels from. Now my brush isn't very big, so let's make it a little bit larger so it doesn't take so long. Don't make it huge, because then your work is very notably photoshopped. And don't click there. So what I want to do is I'm going to pick kind of from over about here, and I'm going to stay in line. Okay, and up here it says aligned sample. So I'm telling it to stay in alignment. So I'm going to use those pixels, and you can see it wants to put them down already. So I've targeted here. You only have to target once, and then I'm just going to do brush strokes like this. So as I do this, putting in the pixels, and I'm doing my best to try to have a steady hand. Okay, there we go. And really, unless you zoomed in a lot on these pixels, you wouldn't know that they weren't original. You'd have to have a pretty clever eye. So if I can get rid of that, I can get rid of this. This is a little more challenging because you've got a bit of a wake spreading out here. So what I am going to try and do is work very close. That's funny. The targeting is in line, so you can see it's got an image sort of already in mind. So you don't want to go up and down like this. That absolutely would not work. So let's retarget. Let's grab from, say about here. Let's see if we can't rid ourselves of these pixels. So I'm trying to stay with the grain as best I can. I also wouldn't recommend targeting with pixels that you've already put down. I mean, they're a little distorted, so all you'd be doing is getting more distortion. So you want to be kind of neighborly. And remember, using a brush, so more brush strokes is pretty good. All right, still looks a little like it needs a little fixing. Ha! Don't do that. Now we've got mystery people up there. So let's go to history. It was just a little too close. Okay. So this will be a bit more of a challenge. Put history away. Let's see. Let's see if we can't smooth this out a little. So that's what happens when you do things in one stroke. Okay, go away. Not too bad. I just want to do a little smoothing, not too much. Okay, so this is being repaired. For those of you with a keen eye might have noticed down here, I'll pull this palette up here, that there is a layer sitting there, and it's got layer effects. Looks pretty cool. It's not a huge part of the tutorial. You can do some pretty neat stuff with text, and this is just showing off layer effects. Getting into layer effects is a later tutorial, so I'll keep this one pretty short and pretty sweet. But if you want to Photoshop something in here, for example, a shark fin, make it look like there's a shark going through in the water, you can actually Photoshop from another place. So let's go to shark dorsal fin. All right. So truck it on out to the web. You could find an image, and we get to have a little bit of fun with this. So you'll see this shark fin in the water. You think, okay, so what if I save that image? Okay, let's go to the full image. Okay, so let's save that image onto the desktop, and just call it fin, just for fun. And on the desktop, I'll tell Photoshop to open it. Desktop, a nice messy desktop. There's fin and open. Okay, so if you pull this down like this, break this photo away, let's make this a little smaller. There we go. You could pull this dorsal fin in, but the surrounding colors, they don't pull it off. So you can clone from one picture to another. Let's see if I can get this set up a little tighter. All right, so let's say I wanted to do that. Give some motivation to the rowers. So let's choose, let's choose these pixels. You have to be on the tool. So maybe I'll make this a little smaller, a little bigger, so I can see. There we go. And sort of line them up in the middle here, and hold down target. So I could target there, and then up here with the clone stamp tool, because the target layer is hidden. Ooh. You have to be on the background. There we go. The background has to be selected, otherwise you're not painting on anything, right? So this is kind of looking like something from Megalodon. I don't want to get too close. All right. So I'll put that away now. So I've got a bit of a shark fin in the water, and it looks kind of cheesy, but sometimes cheesy's fun. I'll just kind of fill this in, trying to get close without capturing somebody's head. There you go. Let's see if I can do a bit better of a job than that. Make my tool smaller, right? And just do a little bit of faking it until you make it here. Fake it till you make it. Photoshopper's credo. Okay, option over here, right? And let's see what we can do, right? Now I could have used selection tools, right? But since this lesson, right, is all kind of about transporting pixels the fun way, then I figured that would be what we should hold to and honor that agreement. All right, so looking somewhat less cheesy. Now this is on this layer. So if I'd done this smartly, I would have done it on another layer. But really the point was just to show you that, don't go into the water, first of all. That boat's not going to save you. And second of all, you can transport pixels between photographs. So it's not too hard to do. It's good fun. So that is using the clone stamp tool. And I'm out of here. Have a good one.